kecil hati bahwa ternyata Indonesia masih panjang jalannya.
Pancasila mempunyai 5 dasar, 5 sila, dengan burung Garuda sebagai lambangnya. HIPPINDO ingin berperan serta di dalam ekonomi bangsa Indonesia. Kita ingin ada Garuda Ritel Indonesia. HIPPINDO mempunyai 5 logo dengan tangan yang saling terikat. Itu menunjukkan 5 unsur. Garuda Ritel Indonesia mempunyai 5 unsur. Menurut HIPPINDO adalah kesempatan untuk kita maju bersama di situasi di tahun-tahun yang sulit ini. Kita akan bisa lewati.
Semoga kita bisa bekerja sama dengan erat dan berkarya dengan baik demi nasabah dan mitra-mitra retail kita semua.
Jadi saya sebenarnya sebelum datang saya sudah bicara dengan Pak Yusuf Kalla, Pak, saya akan mewakili Anda untuk bicara dengan teman-teman pemilik mall ini. Pak Yusuf Kalla juga menanyakan, ya, kirim salam saya dan saya pasti akan mendukung Anda juga. Apa aja Saudara Sofyan bicarakan, pasti kita tahu bahwa ini tujuannya adalah bagaimana bersama-sama pemerintah kita akan melakukan sesuatu yang lebih baik ke depan.
Kami mewakili Asosiasi Pengusaha Indonesia mengucapkan selamat kepada Himpunan Penyewa Pusat Belanja Indonesia yang hari ini mendeklarasikan diri untuk menjadi asosiasi yang baru. Tentu ini adalah menjadi suatu harapan kita bersama bahwa suara dari Bapak Ibu sekalian, penyewa dari pusat belanja bisa terwakili.
Saya boleh bangga bahwa ada anak muda yang di tengah-tengah situasi yang meresahkan ini tumbuh, menghimpun, membuat satu organisasi. Masih ada semangat itu. Untuk itu saya tidak kecil hati bahwa ternyata Indonesia masih panjang jalannya.
Pancasila mempunyai 5 dasar, 5 sila, dengan burung Garuda sebagai lambangnya. HIPPINDO ingin berperan serta di dalam ekonomi bangsa Indonesia. Kita ingin ada Garuda Retail Indonesia. HIPPINDO mempunyai 5 logo dengan tangan yang saling terikat. Itu menunjukkan 5 unsur. Garuda Retail Indonesia mempunyai 5 unsur. Menurut HIPPINDO adalah kesempatan untuk kita maju bersama di situasi di tahun-tahun yang sulit ini. Kita akan bisa lewati. Hari ini, tanggal 8 Juni 2016, kami mendeklarasikan pendirian HIPPINDO, Himpunan Penyewa Pusat Belanja Indonesia.
Selamat kepada para pengurus HIPPINDO yang dilantik hari ini. Semoga kita bisa bekerja sama dengan erat dan berkarya dengan baik demi nasabah dan mitra-mitra ritel kita semua.
Jadi saya sebenarnya sebelum datang saya sudah bicara dengan Pak Yusuf Kala, Pak, saya akan mewakili Anda untuk bicara dengan teman-teman pemilik mall ini. Pak Yusuf Kala juga menanyakan, ya, kirim salam saya dan saya pasti akan mendukung Anda juga. Apa aja Saudara Sofian bicarakan, pasti kita tahu bahwa ini tujuannya adalah bagaimana bersama-sama pemerintah kita akan melakukan sesuatu yang lebih baik ke depan.
Kami mewakili Asosiasi Pengusaha Indonesia mengucapkan selamat kepada Himpunan Penyewa Pusat Belanja Indonesia yang hari ini mendeklarasikan diri untuk menjadi asosiasi yang baru. Tentu ini adalah menjadi suatu harapan kita bersama bahwa suara dari Bapak Ibu sekalian, penyewa dari pusat belanja bisa terwakili.
Saya boleh bangga bahwa ada anak muda yang di tengah-tengah situasi yang meresahkan ini tumbuh, menghimpun, membuat satu organisasi. Masih ada semangat itu. Untuk itu saya tidak kecil hati bahwa ternyata Indonesia masih panjang jalannya.
Pancasila mempunyai 5 dasar, 5 sila, dengan burung Garuda sebagai lambangnya. HIPPINDO ingin berperan serta di dalam ekonomi bangsa Indonesia. Kita ingin ada Garuda Retail Indonesia. HIPPINDO mempunyai 5 logo dengan tangan yang saling terikat. Itu menunjukkan 5 unsur. Garuda Retail Indonesia mempunyai 5 unsur. Menurut HIPPINDO adalah kesempatan untuk kita maju bersama di situasi di tahun-tahun yang sulit ini. Kita akan bisa lewati. Hari ini, tanggal 8 Juni 2016, kami mendeklarasikan pendirian HIPPINDO, Himpunan Penyewa Pusat Belanja Indonesia.
Selamat kepada para pengurus HIPPINDO yang dilantik hari ini. Semoga kita bisa bekerja sama dengan erat dan berkarya dengan baik demi nasabah dan mitra-mitra ritel kita semua.
Jadi saya sebenarnya sebelum datang saya sudah bicara dengan Pak Yusuf Kala, Pak, saya akan mewakili Anda untuk bicara dengan teman-teman pemilik mall ini. Pak Yusuf Kala juga menanyakan, ya, kirim salam saya dan saya pasti akan mendukung Anda juga. Apa aja saudara Sofian bicarakan, pasti kita tahu bahwa ini tujuannya adalah bagaimana bersama-sama pemerintah kita akan melakukan sesuatu yang lebih pasti lebih baik ke depan.
Kami mewakili Asosiasi Pengusaha Indonesia mengucapkan selamat kepada Himpunan Penyewa Pusat Belanja Indonesia yang hari ini mendeklarasikan diri untuk menjadi asosiasi yang baru. Tentu ini adalah menjadi suatu harapan kita bersama bahwa suara dari Bapak Ibu sekalian, penyewa dari pusat belanja bisa terwakili.
Saya boleh bangga bahwa ada anak muda yang di tengah-tengah situasi yang meresahkan ini tumbuh, menghimpun, membuat satu organisasi. Masih ada semangat itu. Untuk itu saya tidak kecil hati bahwa ternyata Indonesia masih panjang jalannya.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the event of Indonesia Retail and Tenant Association, HIPPINDO Webinar Series, the Vietnam Indonesia Economic and Retail Latest Updates webinar. In this day, Wednesday, March 24, 2021, attended by speakers, His Excellency Pham Vinh Quang, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Vietnam, Mr. Hanif Salim, the Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. Good afternoon, Pak. Mrs. Masriati Lita S. Pratama, Minister Consular for Economic Affairs, Embassy of Indonesia in Hanoi, Vietnam. Good afternoon, Bu Lita. Mr. Budi Harjo Idwansyah, Chairman of Indonesia Retail and Tenant Association, HIPPINDO. Good afternoon, Pak Budi. Mrs. Trinh Phan Hoa, co-founder and CEO of NQMG and Vice President of Association of Vietnam Retailers. Good afternoon, Ms. Trinh Phan Hoa. Mr. Handaka Santosa, Managing Director PT Panen Lestari Indonesia, Director of PT Mitra Adi Perkasa, and Chairman Executive Council of HIPPINDO. And Mr. Yongki Susilo, Board Expert in Retail of HIPPINDO. Good afternoon, Pak Yongki. President Commissioner, Chairman Executive Council, Board of Committee, and all members of HIPPINDO. Welcome in this webinar. And also welcoming the chairmen of association and their members from APGAI, AMSC, GAPMI, AP3MI, APRISINDO, etc. And also representative from central government and regional government, Ministry of Trade, Government of DKI Jakarta, and also OJK. And welcoming also all the invitee and fellow journalists who are attended this afternoon. Welcome, and it's a great pleasure to see many of you today. Communication, discussion, exchanging information, keeping up to date on condition and sharing opportunities in general and the retail. We will share the arrangement of this event. We will have a welcome speech by Mr. Budi Harjo Idwansyah as a chairman of Indonesia Retail and Tenant Association. And then we will have the Indonesia Retail latest updates by Mr. Yongki Susilo, expert in retail of HIPPINDO. Okay, the slide. Yes, this is Pak Yongki, our board expert in retail in HIPPINDO. And then we will continue with the Vietnam retail latest updates and opportunity retail sector by Mrs. Trinh Phan Hoa, co-founder and CEO of NQMG and also Vice President of Association of Vietnam Retailers. Then we will continue with speech by His Excellency Mr. Hanif Salim, the Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City. And there will be question and answer session after the first session. Then we will continue to the second session, which is testimonial by Mr. Handaka Santosa, Managing Director of PT Panen Lestari Indonesia, and also he is a Director of PT Mitra Adi Perkasa and a Chairman Executive Council of HIPPINDO. Okay. Yes, this is Pak Handaka. And we will continue by the speech by His Excellency Pham Vinh Quang, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Vietnam. And the end of the second session, we will have speech by Mrs. Masriati Lita S. Pratama, the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Hanoi. Yes. And also we have a question and answer session. And after that, we will have a conclusion and closing statement. Okay, for the first, let's listen to the welcome speech by Mr. Budiharjo Idwansyah, the Chairman of Indonesia Retail and Tenant Association, HIPPINDO. To Pak Budiharjo, we welcome you.
Yes, thank you, Laura. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Budiharjo as a chairman of Indonesia Retail and Tenant Association. Very happy today with this event. I'm pleased to welcome you to the webinar series, Vietnam Indonesia Economic and Retail Latest Updates. This webinar event organized by HIPPINDO. HIPPINDO is an Indonesia Retail Tenant Association, like I said before. We very happy with many audience, many important people come to this event. Let me short brief to speak to Mr. Ambassador from Vietnam in Indonesia, Mr. Pham Vinh Quang, Mr. Hanif Salim, Consul General in Ho Chi Minh. We meet before in Ho Chi Minh 2 years ago, and maybe we meet again in Jakarta last year. And Mrs. Masriati Lita S. Pratama from Hanoi. I also meet before in Hanoi. I go to Hanoi before because my association is very important. Vietnam is a partner of the Indonesia Retail, also Indonesia supplier. Mrs. Phan Hoa is a co-founder from and CEO from NQMG, also Vice President of Association Vietnam Retail. Mr. Handaka Santosa, Managing Director of PT Mitra Adi Perkasa. Pak Handaka have a company also in Vietnam, in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh, retail in Vietnam. Pak Yongki, all the association like Indonesia Garment Association, Indonesia Supplier for Modern Market Association, for Indonesia Shoes Association, Indonesia Textile Association, and Indonesia Food and Beverage Association. There's a lot of association come, and we have many connection with all association in Indonesia, government, media, and all audience. I cannot speak all. Thank you for coming in this event. This event is a regularly seminar from HIPPINDO. Last 2 months ago, we do with Singapore. This month, we do with Vietnam. If we have time, next month, we do with Malaysia or Filipina. We not choose now yet. Why? Why we go to the Southeast Asia? Why HIPPINDO think outside, not only domestic? HIPPINDO is a retail association. Every day we sell product from many countries, and also we sell product from Indonesia local factory. This opportunity in this COVID pandemic, we need collaboration. We need collaboration with all association, including overseas association. Retail, like today we talk in VIP room with Mr. Konjen, like Lotte Indonesia, they have Indonesia retail, and also in Vietnam have retail in Lotte. Retailer can be bridging for the export and import. Then this very important for moving again the business to country Indonesia and Vietnam. Why? Again, this webinar very important. After this event, we can know each other, networking. We can go to Vietnam and also welcome from Vietnam go to Indonesia. A lot product from Indonesia we can export, and a lot product also we believe from Vietnam we can buy. Retailer is a frontliner to promotion. I hope Indonesia member we can export to retailer Vietnam member, and I hope retailer Vietnam member can export to Indonesia retailer. Let we do join together to country, do the sectorial hard selling and make benefit for two country people. Thank you once again. I'm very happy, and I hope this event we have a lot of speaker, very important speaker. We can learn a lot thing how we want to do business in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Budi, for the welcome speech. Now we will have the first session. Let's welcome Indonesia Retail latest update by the Indonesia Retail expert, Mr. Yongki Susilo. And for the next event, we will leave it to Pak Yongki as a moderator also for this session. Welcome, Pak Yongki.
Search in December in the vacations weeks, yeah, basically. I think looking at the data, we have done successfully in curbing down the COVID-19 spreads, basically, yeah, for the last few months, basically. Now, in terms of rates, infection rates is declining, so that's really give a good sign, yeah, basically. The rate is coming down into 10%, basically, yeah, for all national and also for the Jakarta as the big contributors of the COVID-19. Jakarta is still holding the highest in terms of the COVID-19 spreads, followed by other provinces in Java. So Java is the epicenter of the COVID-19, basically. So that should be a big attention from the government to curb down the Java Islands, basically. Yeah. Now, in terms of vaccinations, so we are so lucky that Indonesia already booked and bring some big numbers of vaccines from China and other countries, basically. And we have seen that big improvements come from Java, East Java. So they are the first one, the top in terms of the vaccinations, yeah, followed by Central Java, and then the third by Jakarta, basically. So we should push the Jakarta, basically, because it's much more smaller area, yeah, and much more modern people, basically. Now, okay, so the vaccinations, in terms of the numbers, we have reached about 6 million vaccinated people, basically, and we continue to speed up the process. Yeah. Another indicators here is the bed ratio. Yeah, bed ratio of the Wisma Atlet. Wisma Atlet is the center of handling the COVID-19 in Jakarta, Jabotabek. Yeah. It's curbing down also, yeah, so it's a good sign. And then when we trying to link with the consumer transactions, so it's going up, all right, so that's why we should help the government in curbing down the COVID-19 spread, because it impacts the consumer transactions, yeah, or retail, basically. Now, in other countries, for example, especially Europe, here we have seen a third wave, yeah, so we do hope that Indonesia should not face the third wave here. So we are already entering the vaccination, so we should be careful. Yeah, in Europe we are facing third wave, basically. Yeah, that's, I think, because a lot of Western countries do not believe in putting mask on. Yeah, some countries are still also, like France, Italy, Poland, Turkey is hitting a big wave, basically, for this third wave. Yeah, we have to be careful. And then our neighbors also, Philippines, is facing another third wave, a huge one, basically. Yeah, so we should help them also. Yeah. Now, Vietnam is one of the best one in terms of controlling the COVID-19. So the economy should be growing much faster. So we should follow what our friend in Vietnam has done. Yeah. Now, presenting you about the FMCG industry. So this is the basic consumptions of Indonesians, FMCG. We have seen that both the traditional trade and also the modern trade is still hitting minus figures, yeah, and it shows that it's still weak, yeah, entering this Q1 basically. And focusing on the modern retailers, mini markets has been the forerunners basically, and still also showing some negative numbers here entering the January. Yeah, I believe the February also is a bit hard, yeah, because it's also short numbers of the days and also the trend. Yeah, supermarket is also still the same, stable, and hypermarket is still in big trouble. Yeah. Now, in terms of area regions, you've seen that certain areas, yeah, it's surprising that like South Sumatra is about 14% growth. So when we trying to asking what's happening there, in South Sumatra, basically there has not been any lockdown since last year. Basically, no lockdown at all. So that's why they can grow faster. Yeah. What about the COVID-19? Yeah, there is a number of population that got hit, but they can handle it basically. Yeah. Now, the contribution of total Sumatra is about 25% in terms of population and also the economic way. Yeah. So we should still focus on Java. Looking at what's the situation today about the prospect entering the Q2 and Q3 and Q4, the commodity price in the global basically is getting better and better for Indonesia. Yeah, so this will help probably the earnings of Indonesians, yeah, in the next quarters basically. So it will help some islands like Sumatra and Borneo, okay, Kalimantan. Looking at the impact of the price of CPO and commodity to our spending, for example, auto industry is very close linked basically. So if the CPO is rising, CPO and coal price is rising, that means they will buy much buy consumer goods. Yeah, this one is example is auto industry basically. Okay, so we hope that it will continue. All right. This is from the Bank of Indonesia. We have seen similar numbers basically for total retails, not only FMCG. Is weakening in January, but it's a bit picking up. They show a picking up a bit in February basically. Yeah, but that's too early. So we have reported from some friends that February is still flat basically. Yeah. Now looking at certain areas, again, most of the regions is already in a rebound states. Yeah, except for Bali Nusra, which they really depends on tourism basically. So tourism got hit really badly, so they recover a bit late basically. But the other region is recovering. So we know that we still have some deposits from the Indonesian consumers, so they have not used much of the money basically. Yeah. So we still hope for a better Q2 because we have a Indonesian Muslim festivals. Yeah. So we predict that the Q1 this time it will be still a bit minus growth, yeah, because of this consumption still very weak, and we do hope that by Q2, yeah, we are going into this Lebaran will be a positive one basically, because last year we were minus 5%, so this year we should be around plus 4 and 5%, yeah, for the Q2. So then the rest of the year will be stable basically about 4 to 5% also. Yeah. Now I got some numbers also from the Bloomberg. It shows the same trend basically. So Bloomberg confirmed that the forecast for the Q1 will be minus 0.5%. So exactly the same with our prediction. But then for Q2 there will be a huge pickup. Yeah, 6.7%. Okay, and the rest of the year is between 6% to 5.1%. Okay, so that's a huge hope for Indonesian's recovery. We do hope that everybody do not hit the brake, but you just off the brake basically, and then start to accelerate by Q2. Yeah, so that's my sharing about the Indonesian's situations, consumptions especially here, because consumption contribute almost like 60% to our economic growth. All right, so for the next sessions, we will invite Mrs. Trin Van Hoa, this co-founder and the CEO of NQMG, and also the Vice President of the Association of Vietnam Retailers, to share for about 15 minutes about the Vietnam's conditions and how it can be a good investment and a good opportunity for Indonesian retailers, F&Bs, and other business, yeah, basically. So we can exchange, we can trade much better, yeah, in the near future, basically. Okay, please, Ms. Tri Van Hoa, basically, to share.
Yes, thank you, Yongki. Thank you for your informative informations. Yes, I would like to go through my presentation. It will be in third parts. First, background about me. It will be very quick. A little bit introduce about NQMG for you to understand what is the company, and we are standing in what landscape to discuss about the business. And then very important is, and the majority part is discuss about the Vietnam retail landscape and potential. So I go through the my introduction. I have 25 years experience in retails, and in 2014, I already introduced the omni-channel model for the retailer. And now the mission of me is to exchange the agriculture of Vietnam to the world. So it's including Indonesian. So I'm pushing very much now the agricultural exchange between the country. And I think it's the potential from now. This is the background of the business and the experience I had gone through is both retail big box and the e-commerce, and then the omni-channel like Central Group, omni-channel, and F&B restaurants, and now NQMG omni-channel experience. So for NQMG, we have the office in Ho Chi Minh and the office in Hanoi, and we also have the farm in the highland of Vietnam. The majority of the product that we work with, that the most product that retailers are working now is mainly vegetable, seafood, both fresh and frozen, meat, fresh and frozen, dry food, and processed food and beverage. This is our main product introduced to the market. Is the both of the most famous rice in Vietnam won the first and the second prize is the SD24 and 25. This is the out customer focus import export, HoReCa, retail, e-commerce, and then end consumer. So about the Vietnam retail landscape and potential, some of the information about the Vietnam figures. If you see here, you see that the GDP is about 261 billion. GDP per capita is about $2,000, increasing 8.2% to compare with 2015. Population is about 97 million people, and in that 22% of the people living in the household living in the difficult access area, and 6.3 million household income, so it's reduced by 11%. And every year we spend about 1.38 billion of marketing burning every year. And in that, 24% is using for the digital. For the population use internet is now occupies about 70%. So we are 30% of the population now on the internet. And one of people using 1 or 2 or 3 mobile phone at a time. So the number of the mobile phone and mobile phone number is higher than the population number. So the people using more social channel now is about 67%. Facebook access via the phone over 99%. So we are very much on the Facebook, internet, and online. And the total business of online is now about $9.2 billion US. And it's continually to increasing. Some fact figures of retail Vietnam in 2020. The retail sale of the consumer in September of 2020 reached 441 trillion dong, equal to 19 billion US dollar, increasing 2.7% to compare with month on month to compare, and then 4.9% vs 2019. So even COVID, we are still increasing the retail sales in total. In Q3 of 2020, the total retail consumer equal to 56 billion of US dollar. Is it increasing 14.4% to compare with last quarter, and 4.5% increasing with the same quarter of the year before. So in the first 9 months of 2020, the total retail consumer of Vietnam reached 56 billion dollar, and increasing 0.7 to compare with the same period 2019, and it would increasing it would decrease by 3.6 to the same period of 2019, increasing 10.8%. So COVID pandemic has a significant impact on the consumer perception and the buying behavior. The people are more online and eat at home. So for the country level, some of the country shortfall on the agriculture worker due to the pandemic COVID-19. Non-migrant worker affect agricultural labor supply, for example, in Europe, Australia, and USA. So crisis over the short stay food and imbalance food supply at both plantation and port harvest occurred by the region. So this is what happened outside of Vietnam, and is also creating an opportunity for Vietnam in order to, and Southeast Asia as well, in order to export the agricultural product. So that is the reason why in Vietnam, the top keyword for searching on the for the product is now focused into the agricultural product. For the customer behavior, I just said, they are more eat in and less eat out. So the F&B business is affect and reducing significantly the turnover. However, the online business is increasing, and the people are looking for the product less of the cooking time. It means that they want to have the fast cooking solution. They prefer to home delivery fast food and ready to cook and ready to eat products. So this is the potential. And the customer now eat more original, safety, and increasing body resistant power. So the food that puts the immune system and again the virus are searching by the customer and increasing the sale volumes. So at the company level, we realize that we need to have a better supply chain solution to keep the freshness longer during the transport between the region within Vietnam to the area that have more food to, and we found out that the distance for delivery is longer. And then online is also booming since Q1 of 2020. So the transportation for fast food is also need to have a better supply chain solution. And we need to exchange more agricultural product between countries to be more efficient by keep the freshness and original taste of the food product when it comes to the hand of the customer. So this is the situation. It is also pointing out the opportunity. So for the Vietnam consumer behavior, vast the industry, you see that the customer now is more search online and purchase online, and they also search online and purchase search online and purchase offline. So the customer now, they need to have the omni solution at the retailer, and they focus more during the COVID period to search online and buying online. For the ASEAN landscape, if you seeing here the number of hours per day online for that they purchase for the personal use in most of the country, even Vietnam and Indonesia, is also increasing to compare with before the COVID time. Yep. And so it's growing potential for this online business. And for the bank, both countries have the weakness on the bank to compare with another reason. So this is more of the job for us in order to increasing the number of the people using the bank transaction like bank account to have more debit card, credit card, loans, investment or e-wallet, into increasing the number of people to have the bank account in order to purchase more online and makes the business for omnichannel is more healthy by banking online transactions and controllable. For why is agriculture need to be focused? In 2020, if you see the Vietnamese figures, you will see that the spending of the agriculture increasing. In 2015, it's only 4%, but now it's already grow up to 11%. And the forecast, it will be 15% in 2025. So the people prefer now more buy online and delivery to home. So we need to have the solution for the customer to buy the online agricultural product and still keep the freshness in the taste of the products. Why online retails? If you see in here the Vietnamese figures that in 2019 to 2016, the e-commerce increasing 61%, and the forecast will be 23%. And then the transport food, you also see the reduce and also the potential for growth. For online travel, a decrease, but potential is growing. Growing. So for online media, it's increasing and it will be continually increasing. So it's showing the opportunity for retailer in the coming future on the online and e-commerce. So the shift of the Vietnamese retail now is moving from different model, from only offline to multi-channel, and then from multi-channel now to cross-channel, and now most of them now moving to the model of retail omni-channel, and this is now becoming the trending of the retailer in Vietnam at the moment, and it's found the significantly of growing during the COVID time. Some of the retailer like Big C, they said that they're growing like 3 times to 4 times their e-commerce, their online business during the 2020, thanks to their omni-channel system that is developed and contribute a good results. So COVID and agricultural product food safety, what is the products potential and how to transport the food to the customer with longer lead time for both e-commerce and export. As we see the potential of some countries that they are lacking of the agricultural products, and they need, and they raising the demands. And also for us domestically, the customer also asking for more online products on the food and fresh products. So you see that here there's some potential products that requiring for better transportation. Is mostly it's daily products that the customer use that we need, that currently we have, and we also increasing the lead time and increasing the freshness and the taste for the product when it delivery to the home customer. And we also have a solution in order to deliver the salads products. It can be cross-border, still keep the freshness and taste for 15 days, so it can go by sea. So it is one of the success that I'm showing here as the example for the lecture that we export to another country. It can be an item that we can focus. And it's also, it's one of solution from Vietnam, but we need to learn also from our friend in China. They're doing a ton of this item, and a lot of this item, and they export to all over the world. And they're doing very good in terms of keep freshness and taste for the fresh food product that we should learn from them. And this is also the item that we export very well as well. And the keyword is still how to keep the freshness and the taste when it arrives into the destination. Yep, it's some key learning. And rice as well. The demand of rice will increasing for coming time. And also the product, frozen product, is also potential item and growing demand item from other country. This is one of the frozen that can keep for 2 years, and it I create frozen, and it's now raising the demand from different country. Yeah, chicken frozen, sell life 18 months, different of the recipe with the sauce and veggie frozen inside. Yep. So what we need to continually to do more in order to supporting the agriculture and also giving more freshness product to the retailer, that we need to have the post-harvest solution on veggie and food to cross-border better, faster supply chains on food and agricultural product. We need to learn the lesson from China. From China, they go to Europe. It's only like 7 to 10 days. But from Vietnam and from Indonesia, we ship the product to Europe. It took us like 15 days, 20 days, and 25 days, sometimes 35 days. So we already like lead times lower than another countries. This is one of the barriers in order to do the export for both Vietnam and Indonesia, that we have to find a solution together if possible. And we need more original safety products cross and exchange between the country. It means that it can be between the Indonesia and between Vietnam. I'm welcome to receive the demands of the farmer in or the factory from Indonesia, and I will helping them, not only the company that I'm working for, but also the company that in Vietnam, that if you have a good offer, original product and safety product, we can exchange more. So that is what we need to do in order to make the retailer more exciting and offer better solution for the customer. So this is end of my presentation. To telling you some figures about the Vietnam retailer and some potential that I can find out that between two countries we can cross border and exchange the retail business. Thank you very much for your listening.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Ms. Xuan Hua. So before we go into a question and answer later on, I like to have one question to you. Okay, you show us about the industry there on the fresh industry, showing the vegetables that you are focusing, yeah, trying to export. Okay, number one, may I know what is the share of the modern retailers out of the national retail figures, basically? What is the contribution of the modern retailers, yeah, in Vietnam? That's one. Number two, who are you targeting in terms of exporting those vegetables, basically? Because you have about 14 days life cycles, basically, yeah. Should be using airplanes or to make it, you know, 1 day delivery, or probably close neighborhood, basically, yeah, to keep it fresh, basically. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question. For the modern retailer shares, I will exchange the figures later to you. And for the second question, for the first question, I'm sorry that I don't have the figure in my mind. So I will come back to you with more explanation about the modern retail share later on by emails maybe. And the second question, the 15 days for the lecture is now focused into the Korean and Japanese market, and some of the country that nearby Vietnam that we can ship the product to, even the Australia during the winter time. So it can be we already ship, and it can be some other country that maybe my other farm they do it as well, but there is an increasing demand from the country for a lecture. But lecture is just one of my example. There are a couple of examples on fruit as well. We ship fruit to China. Yeah.
Okay.
It's one case study. We ship fruit to China, and from Vietnam to China, it's about like 7 days. And from China, it goes to another country. And it took them only 10 days in order to reach the country. So total, it took them only 17 days in order to ship to the country. However, if we ship to that destination, it took us about 20 to 35 days. You see?
Wow.
So in terms of the lead time, we already did advantage to compare with China. Even China don't own the product, but we have to ship to third country, second country in order to reach the destination. So that is a learning lesson that I think that Indonesian maybe we also fall into the same situation. And the lead time is becoming very critical for the food product. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So from the picture, we see that there are some good quality of fruits there, yeah, in Vietnam, basically. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next will be Mr. Hanif Salim, our congen, basically our Consul Generals of Republic of Indonesia in Ho Chi Minh City. We like to share the floor with you, Pak Hanif. So you can explain about the opportunity that that Vietnam may expose to our Indonesian businessmen here, basically, especially in the retail and F&B sector, Pak. Okay, silakan, Pak.
Very much, Bapak Yongki Susilo, for giving me an opportunity to join this important event. So, Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me at the outset to extend my sincere gratitude to the Chairman of Indonesia Retail Association, known as HIPPINDO, Mr. Budiarjo Idwansa, for arranging this webinar and giving me the opportunity to share my view. I would like to convey my warm regards to my ambassador, His Excellency Denny Abdi, the new Indonesian ambassador in Hanoi, whom today represented by my best colleague, Mrs. Masriati Lita Sadia, Minister Consular for Economic Affairs. I would like also to convey my best regards to His Excellency Vinh Quang, Ambassador of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam in Jakarta, and the other speakers, Mr. Handaka, Director of Mitra Adi Perkasa, Mrs. Chin Van Hoa, Vice President of Association of Vietnam Retailers, and Mr. Yongki, Expert in Retail of HIPPINDO, who are among us today, will also share their constructive view in this program. Okay, now let us continue my speech. Many people ask me why we are focusing retail in Vietnam. First, Vietnam is our Indonesia strategic partnership country in ASEAN. As a member of ASEAN, Vietnam has enjoyed an average of more than 6% economic growth and 12.8% export growth in the last decade. Second, in relation with the retail sector, Vietnam has more than 97 million population, and more or less 9 million live in Ho Chi Minh City, which I now serving my mission, with trend of consumer spending projected to grow by 9% in 2021. During my tenure in southern Vietnam, I have witnessed the total trade between Indonesia and Vietnam from 2017 until 2019 has grown significantly by 40%, achieving 9.1 billion US dollar. And despite COVID-19 global outbreaks, the total trade between Indonesia and Vietnam still remain and relatively robust. It's only decreased by 9.6%, achieving 8.22 billion US dollar in 2020. The number of Indonesian companies operating in Vietnam has also increased significantly, which according to our database, in 2021, there are 40 Indonesian companies operating in North, Central, and South of Vietnam. Among them, there are digital-based Dekakon and Unicorn startup from Indonesia, such as Gojek, Traveloka, Kianguru, and Socialist in Ho Chi Minh City. In the retail sector, there are several Indonesian well-known companies. I can give some samples such as Indofood, Garuda Food, Nabati Mayora, Nutrifood, such as Pham Trading, Sosro, Willing, Orang Tua, Kapal Api, Eksekutif, Mitra Adi Perkasa, Kalbe, Dexa Medica, and Century. Talking about people-to-people contact, we can see the number of tourist visit between Indonesia and Vietnam. It shows a positive trend, which in 2019 has approached 106,688 visitors per annum. More than 90% of Indonesia tourists arrive in Vietnam through Ho Chi Minh City. I and my ambassador take the pleasure on the diplomatic breakthrough, opening the new direct flight route Ho Chi Minh City to Bali in cooperation with Vietnam Vietjet Airlines. This has been successful, operating since May 2019 and by Vietnam Airlines since October 2019. I also, offer to the Indonesian side, but at that time, at the beginning, no response. So that's why I provoked them by using the Vietnamese side, which both contribute significantly, increase tourist visit and business opportunity between both countries. Moreover, South Vietnam has contributed 47% to Vietnam GDP. All of conditions explained signify that Vietnam is a very strategic destination for Indonesia and retail market expansion abroad. To be frank, Indonesia is a little slow compared to other countries such as Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Korea, Japan, France, and United States, with the already well-known such as Big C, Mega Market, Park Son, Ion Mall, Circle K, etc. These retail bonds are already well established in Vietnam, and they have been very successful to tap profit from the lucrative market of Vietnam. I wonder how come there is not even one retail brand from Indonesia operating in Vietnam. So this is our big question, and this is our challenge. Retail store from other countries prioritizing to market export product from their respective home origin countries. It will make use other countries' retail store to market Indonesian products in Vietnam. They will charge higher fees and costs. Hence, Indonesian products will lose their competitiveness. We need to have Indonesia retail network in Vietnam to support market expansion of Indonesian product to enter Vietnam market. I personally have gone through many proactive efforts to convince many Indonesian retail and shopping mall conglomerates to consider investing in Vietnam and create a retail network in Vietnam that can assist and accommodate the penetration of Indonesian export products into Vietnam market. I have submitted and explained personally my proposal to one of Indonesia conglomerates, His Excellency Mr. Khairul Tanjung. He is our former coordinating minister for economic affairs during the previous government. So he's the owner of the biggest retail in Indonesia, we call it Transmart. Yeah, Mr. Haip Tanjung seems to be attracted with my proposal to invest using 3-in-1 model, consists of shopping mall, game park, and apartment, which is not yet many in southern part of Vietnam. Unfortunately, once again, like Mr. Yongki already explained about the COVID-19 in our country, of course, COVID-19 global pandemics happen, and it brings a staggering effect into the global economy and results to the plan of Mr. Haip Tanjung being dormant until now. So it's a pity, yeah, but we cannot avoid this. According to our observation, the best strategy to enter Vietnam retail market and industry by implementing acquisition strategy. Why acquisition? This strategy has been intensively and successfully used by our neighbors and our, you can see like Thailand, Japan, Korea, taking over famous retail in Vietnam, such as Big C by Thailand, Mega Market by Thailand, and G25 by Korea, and Mini Stop by Japan. Why choosing acquisition strategy once again? Acquisition strategy is the easiest way and running quicker to hand over the business, not from zero start. It means that the networking, the permit, etc. has been arranged before, and the newcomer will be easily continuing the effort to achieve big target. The second strategy, I kindly propose HIPPINDO and members adapt to the most contemporary retail environment, such as heavy utilization of internet and increased demand of hygiene caused by COVID-19. To respond to this situation, I suggest HIPPINDO needs to collaborate with Vietnam online market platforms such as Lazada China company, Shopee, Singapore company, and Tiki from Vietnam itself. So in the future, we need to proactively support the investment of Indonesia online market stores such as Tokopedia and Bukalapak into Vietnam market. Furthermore, HIPPINDO should consider to establish cooperation with Gojek in Vietnam for exclusive delivery service of their goods, services like GoSend. Vietnam e-commerce revenue reached now is 11.8 billion in 2020 last year. So it's been increased by 15% from the previous year 2019. Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The rapid growth of online market platform in Vietnam opened golden opportunity to invest in warehouse and storage around big cities such as Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, and Da Nang. So Ho Chi Minh representing the southern part of Vietnam, Hanoi is representing part of North Vietnam, and Da Nang representing the central part of Vietnam. In Ho Chi Minh City, we currently have one of the biggest Indonesia private shipping and logistic company. We name it PT Samudra Indonesia, which are ready to cooperate with all members of HIPPINDO to ship their goods from Indonesia, establish retail networks, and to build warehouse storage in the strategic area in Vietnam. So they already built some part of them in the South Vietnam under my jurisdictions. So finally, now I have been in Vietnam for 3 years. Hence, I will conclude my mission as Consul General of Indonesia. At the end of this month, 31st of March, I will fly back to Indonesia for good on the 1st of April 2021. So thank you so much for all high-rank officials from Indonesia and in Vietnam government and all Indonesia and Vietnam business community who have extended their kind assistance relentlessly to me and my staff during my tenure in Vietnam. My motto and my staff is, we will never give up to achieve our target. I stand ready to assist any kind of positive effort toward the realization, Indonesian retail investment in Vietnam and the other way around. Please do not hesitate to contact me and my staff at any time convenience. I wish you all good health and prosperity. I sincerely apologize not to continue my attendance at this forum because I have to attend another urgent agenda. My staff, Mr. Bayu for Economic Affairs and Mr. Iramsa, and also I'm very glad today my best associate, he's the chairman of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, in the southern of Vietnam. Mr. Edwin is also attended today's event. He's sit beside me, and I hope he also will give some comments regarding Q&A session. So thank you very much. Xin cảm ơn, hẹn gặp lại. All the best, Indonesia, Vietnam.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Hanif.
Thank you, Pak Pham. Yeah, Pak Hanif.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanif, for the in Vietnam. If you're living and Mr. and also Ibu Lita to have a picture together, and also Pak Budi.
Flora, no question and answer for this first session.
Okay.
Flora, I think Pak Yongki, can you handle first, Pak Flora, Bu Flora?
Okay. I think she lost the signal.
Yes, please.
Ya, Pak Konjen, ini ada satu pertanyaan di sini mengenai, ini ada kawan, beliau ingin misalnya ekspor food product seperti honey and California lemon katanya Pak. Kira-kira prospeknya bagaimana Pak, dan jalurnya bagaimana kira-kira?
English, Pak. Please use English.
Okay. Thank you for your, I think, important questions. That the all questions, pass to my office in many kind of products. Of course, we have to deal with the regulation according to the Vietnamese side, and we are happy today. It is more proper, the ambassador and also Mrs. Hua, who can give you the answer. But if you are talking about my challenges to improve the relationships in many sectors, we are talking not only one product here, but of course we can help you anytime. We can, because at my farewell call to all the chairman of the people's community in the 23 provinces in the southern part of Vietnam, I already, take the list of their potential and the need to cooperate with many sectors in Indonesia as well. So we can match it into the details from each sector to each provinces as well, in the other side of Vietnam, between Indonesia and Vietnam. So this is, we have to talk into details, of course, we cannot say in common, but it is more appropriate that the regulation into the Vietnamese side, it should be answered by the Vietnamese side, but into our product, of course, we are really open. Most of them, please use your digital technology. By using digital, you can WhatsApp me, and then you can send to my office directly, and then we spread to 1,000, 2,000 association under my jurisdictions. It is more feasible and it's more faster. It is no time of limit. So please do this to my office, because it speed up the transaction. We cannot wait until COVID is over, because it's too late. I'm talking about my experience 2 years already in Vietnam. So we are not just watching other neighbors are growing very fast, but we are a big country. But it seems for me it is not compared big size to our shape. So please do, and by digitalize and then send your priority to make a business in Vietnam, and then we spread out to all association, retail association in the southern part, and of course in north, Mrs. Hoa, and also my colleague, my best friend, Mrs. Dita Saadia will also help the same way. So this is my answer, Pak Yongki. I'm so sorry. I have to continue my program to make my move to farewell call to other colleague in Vietnam. So all the best for you, Pak Budiarjo, and I'm waiting for you in Vietnam. Yeah, even I will go, but all my colleagues and also Pak Edwin here, the Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, is waiting for you. Yeah, for many programs to cooperate together. I believe in your good hands. This is not only just a theory and also just proposing, but we have to do something better and then to be realistic in the field. So thank you very much, Pak Budiarjo, for the invitation.
Yeah.
Okay, all the best for you. And Excellency, Mr. Quang, of course, I truly thank you very much for your kind cooperation, and Mrs. Hoa, looking forward also to have you with us in the southern part. And also my best friend, Mrs. Dita, please also give the general picture and also potential in North. Thank you very much, all of you. All the best.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
Pak.
you, Mr. Consul.
Bravo.
See you again in
Okay.
Indonesia. Yes, yes.
Bye.
Pak, ya, Pak Konjen, before you leaving,
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, we take picture together.
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
Okay.
Farewell, also farewell, Pak Konjen.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, Flora. Pak Yongki, udah.
Laura, udah belum? Oke, saya rasa udah kali.
Bulan sudah? Oke, sudah. Thank you, Pak
Oke.
Konjen.
Terima kasih, Pak
Siap,
Konjen.
makasih.
Ya, terima kasih,
Thank you
Pak
so much,
Thank you
Pak
very
Konjen.
much. Bye-bye. So
Yeah.
my colleague, my
Yeah.
staff will continue, Mr. Bayu, and also my associate here, Mr. Edwin. Yeah, my best friend, Mr. Edwin, will continue also to support you, and also Miss Eva, my new staff from Jakarta. Also.
Silakan.
Yeah, it's me, Leo, from Indonesia. Actually, I just wondering, is there any prospect for crayfish to be sell in Vietnam market?
Apa-apa produknya, Pak? Sorry, sekali lagi.
Crayfish, freshwater
Oh,
lobster.
crayfish. Oke.
Yes.
So, okay. Maybe tadi Pak Edwin ya. Pak Edwin, can you help to answer this? Do we have any opportunity for crayfish?
It's on here. Okay. Good afternoon, Pak Budi. Good
Yes,
afternoon,
Pak Edwin.
distinguished guests, His Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Once again, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Edwin Setiawanci. I am the chairman of the Indonesian Chambers in Vietnam. So maybe if you can repeat what's your question? Is it about the crayfish? Is that correct?
Yes, it's about crayfish. Is there a possibility or any prospect for the crayfish in Vietnam market?
So you're talking about importing the crayfish from Vietnam to Indonesia?
No, exporting from Indonesia to Vietnam.
Indonesia to Vietnam. Okay. Why don't I take all the note first, and then if you can give your contact number, WhatsApp or email, and then we'll respond to you. How about that, Mr. Andy?
Okay, I will put my number there.
Yes, I think
Okay.
for the you can
And,
directly. Sorry, Pak Erwin. Jadi maybe you can direct Pak Leo to the Pak Erwin for as Vietnam Chambers because this is a lot because we have an ambassador also wait. I think it's better for the question for the specific question is better specific answer also next time. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Pak Budi means we can continue first ya. Pak Leo, Pak Andi mungkin masih ada pertanyaan. You can type in. So we will keep note on your questions basically ya. Okay, so we are going to continue our sessions to Pak Mr. Handaka. Yeah, Handaka Santosa is the Managing Director of Panen Lestari and also Director of the Mitra di Perkasa, the Chairman of the Executive Council of HIPPINDO. Okay, Pak Handaka, please, the floor is yours, Pak. Pak Handaka.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Because so better than I explain. Please, the committee, please play the video so that I will explain something. Yeah, actually waiting for the video play. Our business not only in fashion in Vietnam but also in sport. We open like Birkenstock and others. Yeah, please. Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, well, our Sara in Ho Chi Minh City, it's around also 3,500 square meter, and you see also the image. It is will show like in Indonesia. So again, that we create a Sara and all the brand there as a high-end brand also. In Ho Chi Minh City, we open not only Sara, we open also Massimo Dutti, Pull and Bear, and also Stradivarius. Beside fashion, we also open Smiggle, that kids, and also New Era, Birkenstock, and Haddad. So all our friends that as retailer, we need to open our business with the support from HIPPINDO and also the Retail Association in Vietnam to make our scope of business become bigger. And sorry, because I have a meeting in Trade Ministry, I must leave after the presentation. And if there is a question, please send to HIPPINDO or the committee, and we will answer through email. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Handaka. So good luck on your next meeting. So we will continue with our next speaker, Mr. Pham Vinh Quang. Basically, this is our His Excellency Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Vietnam, yeah, in Indonesia, basically. So, Pak Phan, Mr. Phan, so the floor is yours. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's first of all, Excellency, I want to extend my warmest welcome to Pak Budi Harjo, Chairman of Indonesian Retail and Tenant Association, HIPPINDO.
Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege for me to be here with you and share my presentation. At the outset, I wish to thank the HIPPINDO for organizing today's webinar with the right topic and the right time. Certainly, the COVID-19 has brought unprecedented socio-economic consequences affecting every country, both Vietnam and Indonesia. But luckily, during last year, the government of Vietnam and Indonesia have made great efforts in fulfilling the dual goals of curbing the disease and ensuring economic development. Now, this is the time for us to look ahead and to get updated information about the development of Vietnam and Indonesian markets, and to take advantage of the policies and incentives of the two governments to seize opportunities to increase trade and promote investment, especially in retail market. And of course, by doing this, make contribution to the strong recovery of the two countries' economies and further enhance our good relation between Vietnam and Indonesia. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me brief you about the picture of the updated Vietnam economy. So, Vietnam, as you know, over the past 30 years, has been proud of being one of the most dynamic countries in Asia Pacific. The country has achieved brilliant economic performance during the recent years, with GDP growth of 7.02% in 2019. Vietnam is also the world's 14th largest market, a stable business environment, and has become the ideal destination for many world leading corporations and foreign business communities. The COVID-19 breakout has plunged the planet into the worst recession in recent decades. Vietnam's economy also has been hurt by the pandemic, but it has remained resilient and still is one of the most dynamic economies in the world. In 2020, Vietnam GDP dropped to its lowest level in many years, but it still grew at 2.9% and is expected to grow at 6 to 7% in 2021. Vietnam's retail market in 2020 also expanded by 7% year on year to a record high of 172 billion US dollars. Such growth rate, while remain lower compared to the 12.7% recorded of the previous year, was encouraging sign, and thanks to the Vietnamese effective control of the pandemic and a number of government policies to support commercial centers and retail system. Notable policies including regulation on easing fiscal policies for retailers, such as delaying, deferring value-added tax, income tax, land rental, and loosening bank credit. In the short term, the COVID-19 outbreak has dampened consumer confidence, but a survey found that more than 70% of the Vietnamese consumers were optimistic that the economy is expected to emerge from the crisis in relatively better position than many other regional economies. So the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a greater focus on health and wellness and dining at home, as well as a broad-based shift towards e-commerce. The COVID-19 also brings new customers to large model trade format, including hypermarket and supermarkets, as well as to convenience stores, and that other than the traditional trade format. So in the mid-term and long term, Vietnam is a strong contender for business investment in Asia Pacific on key macroeconomic indicators. It ranks among the top for forecast GDP growth at 6.5% and has the fastest middle class growth at 9.2% up to 2023. Vietnam's private consuming rate of 67% of GDP is the second highest in the region. Although Vietnam urbanization rate is still low when compared across region, at 36.63% of the population, but it is expected to grow quite fast and will reach 55% in 2030. The ongoing urbanization and evolving demand trends among young urban consumers will drive strong growth in modern retailing channels such as supermarkets, convenience stores, as well as the rapid expansion of e-commerce. In terms of the market share of the Vietnamese retail system, currently few major Vietnamese and international players dominate the market. Vietnam supermarket chain market share is led by Coopmart, accounting for 39%, Vinmart accounting for 19%, Big C accounting for 11%. The convenience store market share is led by Vinmart, accounting for 54%, followed by Bách Hóa Xanh, 23%. Shopping mall chain has Vincom, accounting for 72%, followed by Lotte Mart, about 14%. So in addition to the large domestic and international players with an established footing in Vietnam, a wave of new competitors has entered the market in the past 7 years. There are something like Casino, European groceries, Southern Korea Lotte, Ion. Also, in 2020, the Japanese retailer Muji and Uniqlo launched their first store in Vietnam. However, in the future, with the technological advancement and product innovation, new mid-sized to smaller players who can utilize factors associated with their competitive advantages would increase their market presence by securing new contracts and tapping new markets in Vietnam. New retailers that are perceived as offering convenience with local knowledge and value for money, and that rigorously managed resources and margin will be most likely to succeed in Vietnamese market. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me touch upon the Indonesian retail market, which is also one of the most promising markets among the Asian countries. Today, Indonesia is the world's fourth most populous nation, the world's seventh largest economy in terms of purchasing power parity, and a member of G20. Indonesia has managed to mitigate the effect of COVID-19 pandemic and has controlled the pandemic relatively well. With ongoing reform efforts and on the back of its large population and growing middle class with higher household purchasing power and increasingly modern spending habits, Indonesian retail market can emerge from the COVID-19 crisis stronger and attract more foreign investors. According to the one survey, Indonesian retail markets can reach to 294 billion US dollars during 2021 and 2025, progressing at a CAGR of 4% during the forecast period. Many Vietnamese companies and strong brands are interested in joining the Indonesian markets, such as Coopmart and Vinmart, chain of convenience stores like Vinmart, Bách Hóa Xanh, electric system like Mobile World, electric green machine, Sun House, coffee chain like Highland Coffee House, Trung Nguyên. So the Vietnamese companies are looking forward to Indonesia's stronger measures to facilitate and promote trade and investment, including incentive for the investment. We require equal to all investors, meaning that equal for national and foreign investors. Also looking forward for the reduction of duties on import, corporate income tax in the form of tax holidays, removal of unnecessary trade barriers, and measures providing broader market access for goods and services. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I think that this is the right time now for businesses and investors of Indonesia and Vietnam to take advantage of the policy and incentive of the two governments to translate the return opportunities into profitable, sustainable enterprises. Thank you for joining the webinar and wishing you all good health and happiness and success. Sorry that I cannot continue the webinar, but my trade attaché will together with you at the end of the same webinar and answer your question. I thank you.
Yes, thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador Pham Quang. So basically, thank you so much for your information. So indeed that we have so much opportunity to fulfill each other's basically in terms of innovations here, products and services basically. All right. So
to HIPPINDO for this invitation. I'm standing here representing my ambassador, Ambassador Denny Abdi. I'd like to start with the 4 key messages that you've been asking from HIPPINDO. I think we will update here the economy in Vietnam and also opportunity for retailers in Vietnam. And what are the supports that the Embassy of Indonesia in Hanoi can provide? And I'd like to touch on the shortly about the bilateral relation. I'll have the presentation. Okay, while waiting for the presentation, yes, I'd like to start with the overview of the Vietnam economy. So as you may be aware, and also Ambassador Quang has mentioned, so since Vietnam embarked on the economic reforms in 1986, the Doi Moi, actually it's a transition to the market-based economy. And the government of Vietnam has welcomed FDI and recognized as the key component for the high rate of economic growth over the last 2 decades. If you see here the GDP growth, we see that during the course of 2016-20, you see the growth average of 5.99%. And because of the pandemic, it dived into 2.91%, but it's still one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Now, if you see the GDP structure of Vietnam economy, I think all the sectors maintain positive growth. You see the industry, trade service, agri, forestry, and fisheries. Next slide, please. Now, how about the retail sector? You see that as also has been mentioned by the previous speaker. So we see here that according to General Statistic Office of Vietnam, during the year 2013-20, the retail sector has recorded the compound annual growth rate of nearly 10.97%. So this is also quite significant, and the revenue reached around 175 billion by 2020. And we also learn about what are the key drivers of this growth in retail market. This is because of the favorable government policies. So also the ownership of foreign retailers has been also been taken care of. And also we have the fastest growing middle class in Southeast Asia. And Vietnam has relatively young population demographic. And also, as has been mentioned earlier also by previous speaker, robust consumer spending behavior. And also the rise of e-commerce and digital platform. Also the Vietnam has the market size second only to Indonesia in Southeast Asia. Now, I just want to touch about what are the challenges. I think the challenges for business here is, I think is also not only for a Vietnam market, also in any other market, is also the competition between foreign and domestic retailer, and also between supermarket, modern retail, and e-commerce. As you may be aware, also in other market, in Vietnam market, the retail market is divided into 8 segments. This is the large supermarket or distribution center, and then shopping mall, shopping complex, supermarket, and convenience store, electronic market, and online retail store, and also TV sales. So what are the opportunities? Nationwide, retail and wholesale ranked 4th in FDI in 2020. Specifically in Hanoi, It is the 5th largest investment destination, reaching 3.2 billion in November 2020. Now, these are some of the domestic and foreign retailers currently operating in Vietnam. These are the physical store of domestic players that is also been mentioned before by earlier speaker. And next slide, please. So there are total of some 40 retailer, well-known retailers. These are the 17 foreign retailers already operating in Vietnam. So like 7-Eleven, it has opened the first store in 2018, and it is going to planning to raise the number of stores to 1,000 over the next 10 years. Okay, next slide, please. These are, as mentioned earlier, these are also the big players, if you want. If we see the difference in between cities, so Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, and other cities, so you can see that Ho Chi Minh leads because it has a number of 83 stores compared to Hanoi, which is only 47 stores. Next. Okay, this is the structure of FDI attraction in Vietnam by 2020. So Ho Chi Minh City leads with nearly 4.4 billion US dollar in 2020. Bac Lieu and then Hanoi in the third place with 3.59 billion US dollar. I can see here that the investment sector is in 2020 also reach a number, wholesale and retail is nearly nationwide is with 704 projects over 1.6 billion US dollar. So in 2020, actually the FDI commitment is declining nearly 25% from the previous year by 28.53 billion. Now, also the structure, you can see here in 2020, you see the percentage is manufacturing and processing still leads with 48%, and then production, electricity 18%, real estate 15%, retail 6%, and other 8%. Okay, next slide, please. So specifically in Hanoi, I've got the statistic for FDI industry in 2019 and also by 2020, where the manufacturing and processing still leads with 37.2%, and also real estate, retail comes to the 4th place. Okay, next slide, please. So we, from the legal perspective, on the retail market, I think there is a decree of the Prime Minister number 9/2018 from 15 January 2018. These are the conditions for the establishment of, among others, of a retail store, and also the need to have the ENT or economic need test for every retailers to apply for the license. Okay, next slide, please. Now, these are the support that the embassy is usually having with the business from Indonesia. So we currently also advising Indonesian business to study the market before entering Vietnam market, and also then we will see the potential business partner, and if the time permits, and connect them through the online Zoom meeting. Now the last message is talking about the bilateral trade, Indonesia-Vietnam bilateral trade. As the Consul General mentioned already, it has quite reaching the target of 10 billion by the strategic partnership. We have the target of reaching 10 billion by 2020, but because of the pandemic, still we reach the bilateral trade by 8.2 billion US dollars. So it's around 800 million less than last year, which was 9.07 billion. So the commodities we are exporting to Vietnam is a computer and also electricity, automotive, and also coal, electricity, FMCG, also animal fat, CPO, and also steel, paper, and also animal feed. Next slide, please. Okay, so that is the last slide. We would like to inform you that if you have any interest to do business with Vietnam, we stand ready to help you to know the market better. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Bu Lita. So it's very, very informative, Bu. So I think we have a few questions here. Bu Flora mungkin bisa bantu, Bu, dengan pertanyaan. Silakan. Mumpung ada Bu Lita nih, very informatif. Bagus banget.
Oke, thank you, Ibu Lita atas presentasinya. The question from the attendee, I think I'm not yet get it. Pak
Andi Kilang bisa tuh.
Oke, mungkin bisa langsung dari Pak Andi Kilang.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I think we have here the question from Pak Andi Kilang. Again, the question is how to meet the local business partner. As I mentioned earlier, I think please contact us and then we will see the potential business partner. And if you have already contacted by yourself the business partner, then we can have a direct communication, like online communication. So we know through the discussion, so we know what are your requirements.
Okay, Bu Mas Rati, maybe I ask from HIPPINDO. I want to ask.
Yes.
2 years ago, I go to Vietnam with some committee from HIPPINDO to look the Vietnam Vincom mall, and I not go again after 2 years because have a COVID. How about the shopping mall in Vietnam? Is a full capacity or like 80% or like Indonesia now have problem? How about, and before I see from Pak Konjen, Vincom Mall is still the biggest. Have another city developer make a new shopping mall like maybe like Lotte already have number 2, Lyon Mall have another from China maybe, or what? Can I have information about the new developer from shopping mall?
Yes, thank you, Pak, for your question. I think this is a very important question. So as Ambassador Quang already mentioned that the government of Vietnam implemented the dual goals while taking control of the pandemic and also at the same time trying to make the economy rolling, so that at the end of last year, it has a 2.91%. So it doesn't contract. It's still growing positively. So with that, I don't see there is no difference where the malls are close. It's not close, but maybe it's from the people itself. They usually would think again when to go, because the Vietnamese people, they are very they obey what the government say. If you have to stay at home, then they will stay at home. If you have to wear the mask, and they will obey for the regulation. I think that what's make also the COVID-19 can be controlled quite quickly. And if you ask about the mall, the traffic in the mall, I think it's getting normal again, because it's the third. Vietnam actually experienced the third outbreak of COVID-19 the last January, but they can successfully control this. So I think the life back to normal again. So I think which is good, yeah, for Vietnam. I think that's the question. Yes.
Thank you. And once again, sorry, for Vietnam Retail Association, to Ms. Phan Hoa, we want to know about the Vietnam government support to the retail. Can we know what the support from Vietnam government for the retail in Vietnam, especially in the mall?
Yes, I think since the beginning of the outbreak of the pandemic, the government of Vietnam has distributed, has a lot of stimulus for the economy, and also for the business. Yeah, I have to see in details about the retail, but I think it's more on the what is that, on the general. Yes, the support, the stimulus package is general, but I think looking at the number, I think the government of Indonesia has what do you call that, has a lot of stimulus package, even bigger than the government of Vietnam. I mean, the stimulus package, our stimulus package is bigger than Vietnam, because of the size of the and the severity of the COVID pandemic in Indonesia as well.
Okay.
But as far as I know, there is a lot of stimulus package also here in Vietnam. Like, for example, the delay in paying tax, and also the support for the SMEs, and also for the business sector.
Okay. No, thank you, Ms. Masriati. Yes. Flora, go back to Flora.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Budi, and also Bu Lita, for the sharing and presentation about the update economic and market in Vietnam, and also the opportunity in Vietnam. It's very useful for our members, especially HIPPINDO members. Yeah, there's a requested to have the presentation from you, Bu Lita. Is it possible to we give it to all the attendees?
Yes, please. I think the intention is also to share about the market. I'd like, if I may, if the time still permits, I'd like to respond to, I think there are questions about the opportunity, the potential for the crayfish, yeah, fishery sector. I think if we see at the statistic in last January 2021, it's I think it's the 9th biggest commodity we are exporting to Vietnam. So I think by January 2021, our export is around 12.54 billion to Vietnam. That is the fisheries product. So I think the potential is still there for fisheries product, and this is also a rise of 12.5% year-on-year from last year. And if I may, also about the question on opportunity to export honey and lemon. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, there was one question. I think honey and lemon. Yeah, I think for every product that are going to be exported here, it should be registered to Vietnam Food Administration, VFA, and also you have to look for the potential business partner in Vietnam. So, and also a distributor in Vietnam, so to say. So, like for example, we have the request for cashew nuts, but raw cashew nuts. So, as you may also be aware that Vietnam is exporting again the cashew nuts. So, we are trying to support by looking for the potential partner. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Rita, for the explanation and answering the questions from attendee of this webinar. I think
Thank you.
There is no one of the question from the attendee participant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think already covered.
Already answering all by Rita at the end. Yeah, very informative. Your presentation very interesting for the our member, especially to see the opportunities in Vietnam. Yeah, Pak Budi. Okay, I think this is the end of our webinar.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for all the speakers who has sharing all the information, the opportunities, the sharing about the situation and also opportunities in Vietnam. Thank you very much. Very sorry if there is a mistake or shortage in this webinar. Thank you for coming, for all the attendees and also the speaker. Stay healthy and see you at the next event of webinar HIPPINDO. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Pak.
Pak Erwin.
Makasih, Bu.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Mr. Trang, Embassy of Vietnam.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Hi, Mr. Trung.
Yeah,
How are you, Mr. Trung?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Just
nice to
very
meet you
good,
again.
very good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Waiting for your answer, yeah?
Yeah. If you have
Okay.
any more questions, so please kindly just send to me. I will try to answer one by one by email or something by WhatsApp. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes.
Ya, Pak
Bye-bye.
Erwin.
Give my best regard to His Excellency.
Yeah. Thank you. I will convey your just greet to him. Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Just bye-bye.
Bonita, terima kasih.
Yeah.
Pak
Thank you,
Budi.
Pak
Bye-bye.
Edwin.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Terima
Bye-bye.
kasih. Ya, bye-bye.